Hello and welcome to another day in paradise, and welcome to another edition of the Unapologetic Negropian. In today's video, yes, I am finally back after a 2-week trek around Europe and around Africa. That is a story for another day, but I'm very happy to be back. Just as I got back, I figured I'd sit back, relax, and let go for a little bit after a long, arduous journey. And it was only then that I had realized that the world of Black YouTube had been turned on its head. Talking arrests, we're talking warrants, we're talking arraignments. Of course, we're talking about Michela Pink, Kevin Samuels, and the rest of these relationship gurus. So today we're going to try and answer a few questions. What qualifies these relationship counselors / life coaches / image consultants to judge us on who we can and who we cannot obtain as life partners? Should we be trusting their advice? And if not, who can we turn to in our community? So today I thought we'd have a little bit of fun. So I thought we'd rank these relationship gurus, do the same thing they do to us. Why not? Let's judge them. No one is above criticism. Remember that? So we're going to get into it, but first, like always, I'm going to ask you to please like, subscribe, share, click the bell notification, and please consider supporting us on our Patreon, link in the description. So when I took a look through Black YouTube, when I got back from my travels, I realized that there were mugshots flying around, and I thought, oh my gosh, here we go again. It's December all over again. There is a mugshot of Kevin Samuels flying around, but no one had confirmed what he had been accused of or convicted of. Are these people worth the money that some of them are being paid to advise and consult us? Once again, these accusations have highlighted a reoccurring theme that I've been bringing up in my YouTube videos for the past 6 months now, is that most of these YouTubers in our community that ask for money cannot be trusted. Simple. So I'm going to start by telling you this right now. All of the YouTubers that I'm about to speak about right now are taking advantage of their subscribers. But of course, this is nothing new. So what is agitating this situation and making it even worse? I think it's more to do with the types of people who have been implicated. So we're going to start off with this Michela Pink. Michela Pink is a popular YouTube relationship guru. She teaches women on how to level up by marrying rich, wealthy men. She portrays herself as a woman who has obtained her own wealth and her own security for her family by marrying wealthy men herself, and thus, of course, advises her subscribers to do the same by ignoring their feelings, ignoring men who they may love but who may not have a 6-figure salary, and going for those men who can purely and wholly take care of them no matter what. She gives workshops, counseling, and one-on-one consultations to her clients, many of which have come through her YouTube subscriber base. Many women have trusted and believed in her abilities. And last week we found out that maybe they shouldn't have. Yes, as you probably already know, last week she was arrested on charges of theft and money laundering. Now, she's not convicted yet, so she is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Both theft and money laundering are two specific types of crime. In the criminal world, we call these crimes of dishonesty. Okay, it means that the person who committed these crimes has no integrity and is not trustworthy. For one moment, let's put her arrest to the side and let's take a look at what she was doing in the first place. She was literally telling women to do everything in their power, including lying to men, even about the amount of children they had, to make sure that they could secure the bag. Leveling up, grabbing the bag. These are euphemisms that are used in this world apparently, so I'm just going to use them. Really, who would have trusted her in the first place? Who trusted her in the first place? You got to ask yourself these questions. I mean, it was plain to see that she is not a trustworthy person. But a lot of women loved her because they were easily manipulated by her charm, by her manner, by that, hey girl, rah, 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 that sort of rhetoric that they put on. It sounds a lot like Art Cathy, does it not? Art Cathy does the exact same thing. Hey girl, yeah, you get that sort of thing. You could hear them doing it. They're lying. They don't care about you. They don't see you as their girl. They see you as another payday. African-American women should easily be able to see this, but they're not, because a lot of them are desperate. A lot of them are desperate. A lot of them don't live the lives that the vast majority of you guys who are watching this, who I know are professionals. I know you guys would have seen through it, but I know some of you wouldn't have. There we have it. We can't really trust what she says when she says she's helped thousands of women to obtain their success. We can't trust anything that has come out of this woman's mouth. Let's rate her on a scale from 1 to 10. We're going to rank her a 4 out of 10 because the reality is there is no proof, zero proof that she has been successful in her endeavors in bringing black women, mostly, I say mostly black women, and mostly African-American women into healthy, thriving, successful relationships. Next on the list, we are going to talk about Shera71. Yes, someone that has already featured on this channel already. So you guys should know a lot about her because I told you about her months ago. The rootin' tootin' Texan who shoots from the hip and cuts to the chase. We know her because we know her as a Shera Star goddess. She is a divineer. She is not somebody who we can trust as a divineer because of the African spiritual espionage that she has done in the past. We know she can't do and does not have the powers that she claims to have. She is much like Michela Pink. She advises women to marry rich in order to secure their own futures. She has a strong backing because there are many women out there who are maybe 30 something, who are single, who want to marry, who find that having a financially viable relationship is top of the agenda. She basically tells these women that they are worth it. And let's be frank, a lot of them are. Not all of them, but some of them are. What's wrong with being able to financially sustain yourself? Is that something which is not possible in the United States? I thought you were the richest country in the world. Why are you having to marry into wealth? Shouldn't you be able to do that yourself? I mean, it is 2021, guys, by the way. You know, but that's just my opinion. So Shera7 and Michela Pink are a lot alike. They have a lot in common. In fact, they have so much in common that these two are friends. They have collaborated with one another. They live in the same state as one another. So they think a lot along the same lines. So is Shera7 guilty by association? I would probably say so, but not for the reasons that you may think. You see, Shera7 has 145,000 subscribers on her account. That's a very healthy subscriber base, by the way, guys, for anybody. But it seems as though there is something wrong with that. If you take a deeper look into her subscriber base and you take a look at the number of views she gets on her channel, the amount of engagement that she gets on her channel, something's off. Now she averages around 20 to 30,000 views per video, which is just weird for an account that has 145,000 subscribers. Even if you've been inactive for a while, which she isn't because she posts almost every single day. If you have 145,000 subscribers, you can gain to get at least minimum, at the bare minimum, between 70 to 80,000 views per video, maybe 50,000 views. But she's getting 17,000 views. She's getting 3,500 views, 7,000 views from a 145,000 subscriber base. Clearly there is something wrong. There are a number of websites where you can get YouTube channels appraised, and by that I mean you can find out whether these YouTube channels have a problem. We have so many subscribers on her Shira71 YouTube channel, but not enough views. So that shows us that many of her subscribers are ghost subscribers, and you get a lot of ghost subscribers if you pay for them. So I can deduce from what we find out and what we see clearly here on her YouTube channel that she has paid for at least 100,000 subscribers on her channel. And if you take a look at her other channel, the Ashira Star channel, you can see that she's probably done the same thing there too. She's probably bought 100,000 subscribers there too. It makes her account look good. It makes her account look more credible. She probably has a third of what you see there. And that tells me that she cannot be trusted as a person, clearly. I mean, look at who she's associating with. Someone who's been arrested for a crime of dishonesty. And look at what she does in general for a business. Look at how she makes money. She shysts people out of money on her Ashira Star Goddess Divineers services, and she also probably does the same thing with her Shira 7 account. So we're going to rate her, we're going to rank her, but we're going to rank her as a consultant, as someone you should look to give you advice about your relationship. And I would give her, once again, a number 4, a 4 out of 10. I'm going to give her a solid 4 because let's give her 4.5 out of 10. She's still working, and a lot of people still trust her, and a lot of people still believe in her. This shows us a lot about the types of people who are following her, and it says more about them than it does about her. I mean, she's just in it for the money, right? And this is America we're talking about, so you can't really blame her. Once again, guys, you have been warned. Let's move on to the man of the moment, Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels is a 55-year-old, twice divorced man who hails out of Los Angeles, California. He's a father of 2. One of them is biological and the other one is not biological. However, we'll get to that later. So Kevin Samuels believes that he is qualified to speak on behalf of all high-valued men because he is a high-valued man himself. He also advises women in particular on whether or not they qualify for a high-value man. So how does he do this? He does this by taking them down a corridor of questions. He asks them about their numbers. What do they look like? How many children they have, what their body count is. And if you don't fall into his category of being worthy of having a high value man, he uses the valor of his tongue to take you to town. Kevin Samuels is a smooth, sophisticated entrepreneur who has made a career of judging people. He advises women in not a nice way, in a pretty cruel way actually at times, on how to control their expectations when it comes to what they are looking for in a man. Kevin Samuels has almost 500,000 subscribers. 500,000 subscribers. Man, they cannot all be wrong, right? What can they? Is Kevin Samuels the person who he makes himself out to be? Should we be trusting him to give us relationship advice? Should we be trusting him to give us image consultations? Image consultations? Well, the short answer to this is no, of course not. Another reason is his criminal past, which wasn't that long ago. Now, I have seen his mugshot flying around the internet, so I took a look into his criminal history because I have his full name and there is a mugshot. So, you know for a fact, it's very easy to find out what he has done in the past. But you know what? I'm not going to tell you what he did. Because the last time I did that, you guys didn't really like it, did you? I mean, and I'm only talking about, yeah, we're talking about Black Acres of the Gambia, we're talking about Rick. You guys didn't like it when I did that the last time. But it's very easy to find out what he has done in the past. It takes a Google search, okay? You have his full name and you know where he lives now. You need to know where he came from, okay? Because he wasn't born and raised in California. So he has only recently moved to California, by the way, guys, relatively recently. So if you know these things, you can find out a lot about him. He does have a criminal history. I'm not going to tell you what he has done, although I do know what he has done, but I will tell you this now, right? What he did do was, once again, a crime of dishonesty. This is not a person that you can trust to do deals with and so forth. So you need to be very careful if you're planning to do something more than take advice from this man about who you should be dating. And then there is his children. Now I know he has one child, which was his stepchild, and I'm not sure about whether he owes money in child support to that particular child. But I watched a YouTube channel called Chris Logic that is hosted by a beautiful librarian girl. Yeah, that librarian girl, named Crystal Bell, I believe her name is. And she deduced that he has stopped paying child support to the mother of this child for some 10 years. This child is now 20 years old, okay? So he stopped paying child support when this child was 10 years old. He gave these reasons in court that he didn't have any money to pay her. This was only 10 years ago. Court papers were from 4 years ago. And so we could deduce that when he was 41 years old, this man was broke. He was not a high value man. He had nothing. He had a job that was paying him somewhere in the region of $45,000 per annum, and he had a side hustle as well. He was working in a gym or something like that, which was paying him very little. Here this man is denouncing the very men in reality, saying that they are not of high value because they don't earn more than $100,000, which is so pathetically simple and crude. I mean, you've got to ask yourself what type of people listen to this and take it as gospel. For all intents and purposes, this man hates the person who he was before. So this is a man who touts himself as being someone who earns over $100,000 himself, who does not pay any child support to his 20-year-old daughter, who currently at this moment is struggling to pay her way through college. Kind of a scumbag father does something like that. So is he a high value man? Well, if we go by his interpretation, he probably is. I mean, he's got 500,000 subscribers, right? And he's getting good viewership on his YouTube channel alone. So he must be earning, I would estimate, anywhere in between $10,000 and $15,000 per week just through his YouTube channel alone. But he says he doesn't make his money through his YouTube channel. He said he makes his money through his image consultancy. So how good is his image consultancy? Is it any good? I think we need to ask people that have used his services. Let's take a look at this. This is a man who goes by the name of Fitzroy George, and he partook in Kevin Samuel's image consultancy as a client. And this is what he had to say about his services.
He is as disingenuous as advertised. I have been following him for years and supported him. Upon paying for and attending two MITs, one in Atlanta and the other in Dallas, where I paid to stay with him as a VIP, where at the second MIT, he tries to upcharge me at $999 an hour and demanded I pay it. I said I could not afford it and walked out and got a hotel and Airbnb for the 3 nights in Dallas. He is every bit of condescending and disrespectful as advertised and makes up stuff as he goes to line up his own pockets. After MIT was over, he calls me on Google saying I owe him for full rate at $990 an hour for 5 hours. I was VIP with him on the first day before I walked out and had to pay again for accommodations. When I paid $699, which was agreed for the VIP for 3 days upon arrival at his request, and then tried to upcharge me, he is not trustworthy and dishonest. A snake's oil salesman at best. He is only concerned with lining his own pockets up. He will never get any support from me again. If anybody needs proof of my claims, I have proof of messages and everything of our correspondence. It's time to put an end to this disingenuous business and people that conduct businesses disingenuously.
$10,000. Now, this guy seems like a very articulate and intelligent person, but $10,000? Who would give a YouTuber $10,000? I don't care what he looks like. I don't care what kind of clothes he's wearing. I would never in my entire life give any YouTuber $10,000. If I've said it once before, I'll say it again. Do not give your money to these people. Don't do it. You will regret it if you do. There are very few success stories coming out of our community of people who have given large sums of money over to other people and it has worked out fine. I haven't heard of them. If you have any success stories, please feel free to write a comment in the comment section below. Let us know. It'd be really interesting to hear what you have to say. He has evictions in his name because he owed money on his rent. This guy is not the guy who he presents himself to be. I wouldn't go as far as to say that he's a total fraud, but this guy has used fraudulent activities in order to line his own pockets. Now, a lot of you will pontificate, well, why would this well-meaning, well-mannered, articulate man give so much money to this YouTuber? Well, the reason is that people, just like Kevin Samuels, are very good at selling themselves. They're good at selling an image, even if it doesn't exist. These YouTubers don't exist. What you are seeing in front of you is a shell of who they really are. Just like ES, just like Art Cathy, just like Quasi Boyd. Okay, these people are not who they say they are. Not even me. Okay, what you see in front of you is not the person who I really am. We put up a front in order to sell ourselves to the people who watch the channel. This may sound a little bit disingenuous, but if they are asking for money, there you go. If they are asking for large sums of money, you cannot trust them. I'm sorry, but you can't. If they are asking you to send you large sums of money personally to them, do not trust them. I would just love to speak to Kevin Samuels' ex-wives. I bet you they would have a lot to say about this man, because clearly he's not the person who he's making himself out to be. In saying that, you've got to criticize this person, this Fitzroy George, for giving him the money in the first place. I mean, come on, who does that? Who gives that type of money to some random stranger who has no qualifications, who has 2 failed marriages and has no trace of any type of career outside of YouTube? Yeah, I mean, you could take a look at his imaging consultancy, go online, Google it for yourself. There is no word, there's no people talking about his imaging consultancy over in LA. And that's because he doesn't make that much money from it. He makes the bulk of his money through YouTube. And that's it. Yes, it is highly likely he's earning somewhere in the region of $250,000 per annum on his YouTube channel alone. That's what I guess 500,000 subscribers would give you. But let's be honest with ourselves. This is not the person who you should be turning to look to for relationship advice and for these types of life-changing, critically important types of information. You shouldn't turn to any YouTuber for this type of thing, right? You shouldn't. And this Fitzroy George should know this. I mean, the guy was in the armed forces, for heaven's sakes. He should know this. He should know better. So let's go ahead and rank Kevin Samuels. I think we're going to have to rank him twice, you know, because I think a lot of you guys have got him wrong. Kevin Samuels is an entertainer. He's a person that you can sit down, you can listen to the way he speaks, and you can enjoy what he has to say. Okay, you can enjoy his lives, enjoy his communication. You can give money towards his lives and it won't be a problem. Okay, so I think if we're ranking him based on his channel and based on his entertainment factor, I would say we'd give him a good 8 out of 10, because even I follow him and even I enjoy him, and I'm not from America and I don't fully understand the dynamics of American dating, how to secure the bag and high value type man and all that type of business. I don't do that sort of thing. However, if we need to rank him in regards to somebody who is a relationship advisor, someone who could give you good advice on how you can get yourself in a long-term, long-lasting, successful relationship, I would have to give Kevin Samuels a 2 out of 10. I think what he preaches is total rubbish. He doesn't practice what he preaches anyway, right? And he's not the person who he says he is. So you cannot believe a word he has to say. And even looking at some of what his clients are saying, he's garbage. He just is. He's garbage, and there's nothing you can do about that. So he's very conflicting in that sort of a sense. You have to know who he is. That's the thing. You have to know who Kevin Samuel is. Take what he has to say with a pinch of salt and enjoy what you're listening to. Enjoy it. Okay? This is YouTube. This is social media. Bloody hell. Don't just believe everything he has to say. You're going to put yourself in a world of hurt if you do that. Kevin Samuels is a cruddy POS that you should not be trusting with your money business-wise. However, follow him, enjoy him, watch his videos. They're quite interesting actually. They are very entertaining, if I need to be honest with you. He doesn't have 500,000 subscribers for absolutely no reason. So Kevin Samuels, to a great degree, he may be speaking the truth when it comes to the United States of America. So, but that doesn't mean that you have to accept it, okay? You don't have to accept what he said. Who are the YouTubers you should be listening to right now, and people who you can take advice from, serious advice from? Well, I would go after people like Samumba Sebuke, a gentleman that I have interviewed in the past from New York, who does have qualifications in relationship counseling, who knows what he's talking about. People like him. He doesn't have a strong YouTube channel, but it's up and coming and people know his name, okay? Even if it's through Facebook, people know of him. So that's one guy you can follow. And another person who you can follow, somebody who I've been following on Instagram for many years, is got this 6-footer. I think she is, okay, I know a lot of you men would probably followed her Instagram for other reasons. Because she looks like a goddess, doesn't she? She is a 10 out of 10, sure. She doesn't, I think she's currently single as well. So there you go. If you're tall, dark-skinned, big, black man, go for it. Shoot your shot. You might be in there for now anyway. So people like her, when you listen to her speak, it resonates with you, whether you're a man, whether you're a woman. You can learn something genuinely from her and take that away. So there are people that you can listen to, people you can, who don't overtly try and sell themselves, because they're not trying to sell services to you, okay? like this Goddess 6 Footer, she has a radio channel, so it's not about personally trying to get money from her YouTube subscribers. So these types of people you can trust. But these guys who are selling you packages, you know, these one-on-one sessions and all this type of thing, guys, come on now. You know, if they are not showing you that they have qualifications, real qualifications in what they are talking about, then don't bother. Don't bother giving them your money in the first place, okay? Most of them are just guys who are out there to try and make money from you. I feel like a broken record. I keep saying this. So guys, let me know what you think about this. Am I right to call Kevin Samuels Dusty? I think he is Dusty, isn't he? Can you be Dusty with 6 figures? Let me know in the comment section below. It'd be really good to hear from you. Because I personally think you do, by the way. I personally think you do. If you're not paying your child support, you are Dusty. Straight up. No ifs, no ands, no buts. If your kids are struggling, you are less of a man. You're not a man. You are not a man. If your kids are struggling to feed themselves, you are not a man. There you go. So guys, that's all I have time for today. Please let me know what you have to say in the comment section below. It'd be really good to hear from you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And I want to give, once again, an extra special thank you to my Patreon members. Thank you very much. And I will see you in the next one. Until the next time, please think twice. Ta-ra a bit.